and everything can be good there. I want to talk about this whole thing because a lot of folks, again, was talking about Tucker Carlson on yesterday. Again, I saw Pop Earl said something. I'm going to go back and read his comment. I thought that was hilarious. He said $35 million a year, get fired and lock out. That's the reason some people come back and go postal up in the building. No dinner, no gold watch, no Boys to Men singing of It's Hard to Say Goodbye. My wife is sitting on the exam table waiting for the doctor to come in. Yeah. People get fired, and folks really don't even know how to handle it, how to process it. They don't know what's going on. And then, but the thing of it is I will say this: if I'm gonna get fired, $35 million is how you want to get fired. I'm just gonna say
$35 million a year, fire me.
Because he ain't just started making that money.
No.
$35 million a year, you can fire me at 366 days.
They say he was making $5 million a month.
Look,
that's
$5 million a month.
It's okay. Fire me at 31 days. I'm all right.
They said he was making $5 million a month. That's $1,250,000 a week.
Y'all cry me a river. Cry me a river.
How much was Don?
Next topic. I don't want to hear nothing about no Tucker Carlson. I don't want to hear nothing about none of these jokers.
How much money was Don Lemon making? Can anybody tell me how much money Don Lemon was making? Don Lemon, Don got fired yesterday. He came out on Twitter and got fired. I don't know what happened with Don.
If you making $5 million a month and you got fired, I ain't even talking about how much you made a year. If you making $500 a month, $5 million a month, and they fired you after 30 days and you crying, you a poor steward. I don't want to talk to you no more. You're a poor steward, and I don't want to talk to you no more.
You should have plenty of money left over to deal with whatever you got to deal with. I think
whatever you was doing over that first 30 days, you need to repent and go before God and figure out what's wrong with your life. Because if you spend $5 million in 30 days, something wrong with you.
They said
there's a lot of people they hit the lottery for the big money and they are broke. Don Lemon his salary was estimated to be around $4 million.
$4 million a year. Okay. All right. Yeah, that's
cry me a river.
That's good. That's good money in New York. And he been making
a river.
He been making that money for a long time too. Don been making he's been with CNN for 17 years. Yeah.
Guess what?
And they just
you say he made that for a year in New York. Take your loot and move to Virginia and you'll be fine, bro. Stop all that foolishness. You see, that's your problem. That's your problem. Y'all cry too much.
A lot of folks was celebrating, and I'm real sensitive not to. You never celebrate when somebody loses their job.
That's right.
Because you never know what the circumstances are and how they feel about it. You never know what they had going on. But again, when you get fired at a certain level, when you get walking papers with that much money. Now, the other thing too to remember too is you also know what kind of clauses are in there, because sometimes you have clauses that can prohibit you from getting all the rest of your money. So I do know that Tucker Carlson, at least him getting fired, was connected to the whole Dominion case. Fox had to pay $787 million to Dominion, the poll company, the voting system company, on last week. That judgment went down. From what I understand, they were supposed to get that money quick. And so when that happened, I'm sure that changed a lot of things, and that shifted a lot of things. So, it's no telling how that affected Tucker's job, stock price, and all that good stuff. But, that was a shock. That was a shock.
As long as they signed that last check.
Leon Campbell said morality clauses are in a lot of those contracts with high-paid athletes too. They are. When you get even when you do this, here's another little thing here. Just on our end, when you have certain level sponsors, when they sponsor you for certain events, if you do something that prohibits you or causes them to fire you, that could cause you to release the rest of that money that you had coming to you as well. So anytime you get a lot of money, Just like back in the day when everybody was talking about Prince's $100 million contract. That was if he sold a certain amount of records. And I remember he got that $100 million contract after the Diamonds and Pearls album. The next album, I think it was the Gold Experience, it didn't do that well at all. I think it did like half of what Diamonds and Pearls did. And he put out like a garbage Carmen Electric album that didn't do nothing, which started chipping at that money that he was supposed to get. That $100 million started getting smaller very quickly. When athletes sign these big contracts, like what's the young guy who signed the biggest NFL contract in history the other day? I don't know the guys. It was the NFL or NBA. Somebody tell me, what was the young brother's name who signed the biggest contract in NFL? Now, I think the contract was like for $450 million, but he only guaranteed like $180 million. So, it's always stipulations. Jalen Hurts, thank you, Folake. Appreciate it, sis. Jalen Hurts signed the biggest contract. And, but if he do something crazy, he mess up, or particularly any type of morality clause, you forfeit and leave a lot of that money on the table. So, but a big shout out to the lovely ladies of the Links Incorporated Spartanburg, South Carolina chapter, who hosted the Healthy Laughter Comedy Tour date on this past Friday night in Spartanburg, South Carolina. Huge shout out to the lovely ladies of the Links. We were live streaming while we had a full-fledged comedy show in-house. My sister, the lovely Big O, was on the show with me. Hilarious, did a phenomenal job. The whole event was sponsored by Denny's. Let me say this. Denny's also hosted the following Saturday, the day after. They hosted this whole weekend, Healthy Laughter, and the entire weekend was a part of a mental health wellness weekend that was sponsored by Denny's. It all happened at the USC Upstate campus. So Friday night, we were in the ballroom for the Healthy Laughter Comedy Tour with the lovely ladies of the Links. The next day, the theater was down, and you had the new CEO of Denny's was there, as well as a full-fledged Healthy Talk panel discussion, and my brother Roland Martin was hosting the panel discussion. And that was interesting because Roland Martin do and say whatever he want to, wherever he want to, no matter who is in the house. And that was hilarious. So shout out to Roland. It was just funny. Watch it. Roland, like when I tell you Roland be saying what he want to say, I mean, I just thought it's just the whole Saturday morning was hilarious. Jaleel, I'm gonna see if I can send you this picture.
So is Roland one of those preachers that don't get invited back?
Sometimes, right? Sometimes.
You know what? Here's my thought. My thought is that they probably would invite him back because they know what they're getting. Roland,
yeah.
I mean, yeah. Roland is comfortably rolling. I mean,
so is Roland one of them Pastor Tuckers, or is he just one of them jokers that's just he inappropriate? Cause see, Pastor Tucker's like, yo, I'm gonna give you what the Lord got for you. So you just gonna. Hey, if that ain't what you signed up for, you need to know who you ask.
Inappropriate can be relative. Right. What's inappropriate to somebody is not inappropriate to somebody else. Let me say this. Roland came out, he had these talking points. And then he was like, okay, they want me to talk about this. They want me to talk about that. He said, I ain't talking about none of that. He was like, listen, this is what we're going to talk about. And he literally just took the panel discussion in a whole other direction. It was good. I mean, it was still informative. He kept it on topic, but the way they wanted him to run the panel, he did not run it that way. This is what Roland did. Roland had the CEO of Denny's to walk in, and all the speakers to walk in full church choir. What's the old school choir name? What is it? Senior choir.
In processional.
Right. You know how they walk in with their arm around their back?
Yeah, he had them process in.
He had them walk in like that. I said, he had the CEO of Denny's walk in like that. I said, that's hilarious.
Wow.
Yeah. But it was a good panel. Something I learned.
Update from the booth. We are on all our platforms now.
Praise the Lord.
Right.
Praise the Lord. We alive. Good, in the words of Little Richard, good golly, Miss Molly.
So if you're looking for the video signal, we are live on all the platforms now.
Yay!
Tech team has brought us back.
There we go. Thank you to the tech team.
Yes.
We got a praise report coming up in just a little bit, but before I get to that, shout out to the what is my sister's name? She was on the panel discussion. I lost it just that quick. she was talking about how certain foods affect your mental health.
Oh,
so it was a great panel discussion
Mocha?
about that. And then
I thought you were talking on our show, Mocha Tosses, but no, you talking about somebody.
no, the sister who was on the panel talk for this past weekend, and what she did was her and I was talking after the show, and we were talking. Somehow we got to talking about milk. Now I don't know if y'all know this, but I don't drink milk. I stopped drinking milk years ago.
Me too.
Okay. And so now, Don, let me ask you before I even go any further. Let me ask you this.
Hold on, Donna. You don't drink milk, but you eat solid milk.
I eat cheese.
I
That's
eat cheese too. I eat cheese too.
But I don't drink milk.
But I don't drink milk. Yeah. Me and Don the same boat. Yeah.
We strolling.
So y'all eat milk. So stop. So y'all eat milk. So stop trying to sound all indignant.
No. I'm not trying to come across like I'm some vegan.
Okay.
I don't drink
just
milk.
saying I don't drink milk.
I like milk. I mean, and when here's the whole thing. I'm not like vegan, like snobbish about it. It's just the fact it tear me up. I mean,
Yes.
I like it. I love ice cream.
Because I know some people, they try to get on their soapbox and try to talk down to you
No.
about milk.
No.
But I'm like,
No.
I said, you can't do that if you eat cheese.
No.
Because people like, no, I don't drink milk, but you eat cheese? Bro, stop it.
No.
You eat milk.
No, it's too.
It's like saying, I don't drink water, but I eat ice. Stop it.
No, I mean, I again, if I could drink milk, I would drink it, and I wouldn't drink it a lot because I still know the hormones that go into it. But if every once in a while, if I want to drink milk, I would drink it. Right. I just can't. I literally can't drink milk. Even I every once in a while. When I say every once in a while, to the point where I don't even remember it, and what happens so that randomly, I'll drink some Lactaid. Unissa and a couple of the kids will drink some Lactaid, but I just don't. I can't do milk. But she told me, she said there's a enzyme that's in our bodies that is created called lactose. It's lactose, right? And please let me know if I'm saying that properly, right? And what she said for African Americans, the older we get, the less we produce. And when she said that, it hit me like a ton of bricks as I realized as I got older, the less milk I was able to drink. So in my early 30s, I couldn't drink milk no more, and I would still try to drink it every once in a while. And it just it got to the point, particularly ice cream. I love it, but it just ain't worth it. I just can't do it. So that I don't know what y'all, that was a great revelation for me to know that it's because of that enzyme. Black folks, we produce less of it, and as you get older.
Yeah, a whole lot of people have figured that out. Some of them don't care, but it doesn't affect all of us the same way.
It don't, no, of course not. But some people don't care, but I bet the people around them care.
Hey, my daughter used to always tell me, like, if I eat ice cream, this later on in years, if I eat ice cream, she would come. She was like, "Mommy, why? Sorry."
And when I tell you it's bad, it's bad.
But I do drink nut milk. Like, I love hemp milk. I drink almond milk once in a while. I have that now, but mostly I probably stay away from dairy a lot, except the cheese. But but I do drink hemp. I love hemp milk. I just absolutely love hemp milk.
I've never had hemp milk. I've never had
good.
hemp.
It's nice and sweet.
Okay,
it's good. Yeah.
Interesting. I should try that.
So Donna drinking weed milk.
I am. Yeah, look, it's so delicious.
Look, Donna, I thought you got off the weed.
Old habits come hard, Old habits come hard. Some way, shape, or form, we will be in
Donna said, I can't smoke it no more. So
I can drink it. I can drink it.
Oh, that's funny. Hey, y'all, listen, in the booth, let me know if Sister Keisha Walker is in the building, if she's connected properly, so I make sure I introduce her at the appropriate time. Praise report. Sister Mary Motley said her surgery went well.
Yes. Praise God.
Yes.
Praise God. Sister Mary last week, and Pastor Tuck prayed for her.
Yes, Lord.
Thank you, Lord.
And she said her surgery went well, so praise God for that. That's awesome. Yeah. Good information right there. My mother-in-law's in the house. How you doing, Mother E? That's all she gonna get y'all. That's it, Mother E. That's it.
Since we praise report, and I want to do a shout out to one of my frat brothers. Actually, he just got another kidney.
Oh,
Oh wow!
Yes.
Yeah.
Praise God.
Yes.
Yeah, I think this is his. This might be his third transplant.
Wow.
What?
Wow.
Oh man.
Now, that's a blessing right there because a lot of people don't get one.
That's right.
They on their
right.
waiting list.
That's right. That's right.
No, I think. No, matter of fact, I'm not sure. No, matter of fact, I remember when he had to have a transplant. One of the other chapter brothers gave him his kidney.
Wow.
And that kidney failed.
Wow.
And so I think this is to replace the one that failed. So there might be a second transplant.
Wow. That's a good brother right there. Give you a kidney.
Yep, give you a kidney. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good.
Bond is deep, bro.
Oh, that's real. That's real deep right there. Yeah.
Yeah, Alpha Phi ain't no ordinary chapter.
Wow. Leon said I can only eat certain ice creams like Haagen-Dazs.
Yes.
Which has limited ingredients. Those ice creams with all the other stuff will mess you up. So okay, help me out. So you're saying that Haagen-Dazs does not have as much lactose, or what's the deal on that? Because let me know if I can eat that.
They just have less preservatives.
That's it.
Okay.
Because I can eat Haagen-Dazs really with no problem. But if anything else,
and they probably use more organic milk. They probably use more organic milk and stuff like that too.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go try some Haagen-Dazs, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come up there and stay with Pastor Tuck for a couple of days. So if it tear me up,
y'all let me know how that goes.
If it tear me up, he'll get it.
Yeah, let me know how that goes.
I'll just sit down in the bottom in the basement and blow up the basement.
I'll lock him in the basement.
It's bad. Hey, I'm just gonna tell you right now. It's bad. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yep, I understand.
It's bad.
I understand.
Everybody know when you got a bad one. When it's hot. That's all I'm gonna say. I ain't gonna go too deep on. When it come out hot, you like, that's pretty bad right there. Mocha said, make your own ice cream, Pastor Tuck. Make it out of your crack. Your crack orange.
I don't really do a lot of ice cream, but I have made sorbets. It's funny when I actually made sorbet out of my what's that high price blender I got upstairs? The one they use on Hell's Kitchen all the time.
Is it a Ninja?
God, I can't even think of the name of it. No, it's not the Ninja. No, this the real deal.
Oh, okay.
This blender you can actually make soup in the blender.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, you're talking about a what do they call it? Because it's a puree type situation. You can
Vitamix. There you go.
Vitamix.
There you go, Mocha Tosses.
Yeah.
I knew she knew it.
All right.
My Vitamix. Yeah, I can make ice cream in my Vitamix.
No.
Ice. Okay. So you saying what are y'all saying? It's the ingredients. So what you talk about making like some all natural milk or something?
Sorbet. I make sorbet.
He said.
That doesn't have any milk in it, does it?
No. Sorbet is fruit based.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, but it was crazy when I actually made it. I didn't realize the stuff that you actually put in it. You make sorbet. I actually didn't. The first time I made sorbet, you know how you got the concentrated fruit juice, the frozen concentrated fruit juice?
Right.
You made it with that, ice, and carrots.
Ooh.
Interesting. Carrots. Concentrated fruit juice, ice, and carrots.
Yep.
That must be a particular flavor.
No, it's whatever flavor the fruit juice you put in it. And you can put bananas. You can put bananas in it. But like I said, I'm telling you, it tastes just like any other sorbet you get out of the store.
Wow. Wow. Interesting.
That Vitamix ain't no joke. You can literally make soup. It will boil water. You put a cup of water in there, turn that bad boy on, let it sit there. It will boil water. You can make coffee out of that blender. Wow. That blender is like no other blender on the planet.
Wow. Interesting. Pastor Tuck is now the new sponsor for Vitamix, y'all. He got me wanting to go get one.
Oh, I'm telling you, it's the truth. That blender is not to be played with.
Wow.
I was just looking up the difference because I was like, what's the difference between sherbet and sorbet? Because there's a difference.
Is it?
So,
what is the difference?
Sherbet has a lot of artificial stuff in it.
But sherbet is
and has cream in it, I think.
Yes, it's made with dairy.
Yeah,
okay, has a little, so it contains a little bit of fat, and sorbet is just fruit and sugar and fat free. So eat the sorbet, y'all.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna see what I would love to be able to eat some type of ice cream or sherbet. I think I do sherbet. I think I've done sherbet in the past few years. I don't think I've really have done sherbet. What's sorbet? What's that other one that Eunice and I've gotten? Julio, text your mother.
Gelato. I was
Gelato.
gonna say gelato.
Yes. Now, why doesn't that give me the bubble guts versus regular ice cream?
Gelato, I think, has a lot. I'm trying to think what's the difference with gelato. Gelato's help me, Mocha. What is it about gelato? Because gelato is Italian.
It's Italian,
and
yeah.
I believe the difference between gelato and ice cream is gelato actually. I forgot.
It says it said it contains less air than ice cream. Results in a denser texture, still soft and scoopable. It says ice cream typically contains more than gelato. So I was looking up what's the difference between gelato and ice cream.
Mocha said the dairy is less.
The dairy is less. Okay.
Yes, less. Yeah, they use less milk.
Okay. Yeah, because you're talking about less air. The air is in my stomach when I eat the other ice cream. That's where that comes from.
Yeah.
And
gelato is something else too. I remember the first time we had it. If you have some premium gelato, it'll make you hurt somebody. First time we had it was in Vegas. And I paid $40 for a cup, and I ain't talking about no 8-ounce cup.
$40 for a cup.
Yeah, for about 4 ounces.
Wow.
That was the first time we ever had it. And it was at like one of them little premium spots in Vegas. It was like, yo, that joint was legit. $40.
You brought some cocaine, Pastor Tuck. I'm
telling you, that joint was a beast now.
Ice cream. Brought to you by cocaine.
That was on my spoiling Pastor Stephanie trip. I took her shopping on Rodeo Drive that trip. I blessed my baby that trip.
Was that the trip? Was that our infamous trip? Vegas trip?
Oh no. I ain't get to see much of Vegas that trip. That was the last trip I went to. You ruined Vegas for me that trip.
What? How did I had nothing to do.
It won't you. But Vegas ruined that trip. Vegas ruined that trip. You blessed me that trip, but I got sick. But I ain't been back to Vegas since. I ain't wanted no more Vegas since then. Vegas used to be my spot, and I ain't want no more Vegas since then.
Pastor Stephanie, Donna, he was puking like he was drinking liquor.
What?
And had drunk nothing.
Got food poisoning. Look,
food poisoning.
Mocha. I got a cold pressed green juice. And it was bad.
That. Yeah.
And that bad boy had me sick all week.
You ever have somebody? I'm about to bring Keisha walk up, but you ever have somebody that they're a little sick? They say like, I don't think I feel too good. You like, oh, you all right? Like, get your ginger ale. And then like, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes later, it's like, oh no, he for real. And and usually it just go like one time. Nah, we roll down the road a little bit. Nah, let's pull over again. And
I had gone twice before we went into the Monique show. Yeah. And in the middle of the Monique show, that bad boy attacked me.
Oh,
these comments are hilarious.
It was coming out the top. It wasn't coming out the bottom. It was coming out the
top. Y'all are funny. Listen, I got to get my sister up here. Listen, we talk about women in business today, and I want to talk about this sister right here because she's been in the investment in the wealth space for a while. I said to y'all the other day, I said to all you people who come in the comments and you drop these random posts about whatever your either Bitcoin or your investment business is, I'm like, just do it right. Just do it right, okay? Stop coming in and spamming us and just do it right. Well, this sister right here, she has a business and like for real, has been doing it and seeing success in it for quite some time now. She is a wealth strategist, and I want to bring her in and talk about this, not just about what she does in business, but also some of the challenges that women go through in business.
Yes.
I went to a panel some years ago. I was watching or in a panel. I wasn't on the panel, but I was in the room with the panel talking about women in business. And sometimes when you don't, I don't care who you are. If you're not in that category, You have blind spots. It doesn't mean you're a bad person. It's inevitable because you're not that person. I'm not a woman. So there's some things that I simply just may not even think about. May have a blind spot. Again, I'm not a bad person. I just didn't know. And what I learned in that symposium, in that panel discussion, was some of the challenges that women have that you just simply don't think of it instinctively as a man. So I definitely want to talk about that and talk about that side of it. Donna, please chime in on this part of the conversation.
Oh, yeah.
And but I think it definitely bears witness. She's known as billionaire Keisha Walker, and she is with LMSW, and she's the co-founder of SOAR. I'm gonna let her tell you what SOAR is. Welcome to the show for the very first time. We celebrate women in business. My sister, my friend, Keisha Walker. How you doing, ma'am?
Woohoo!
I'm doing great.
What's going on, sis?
Hi, everybody. Hi, Donna.
Oh, we can't hear her.
Hi, Pastor
Y'all
Tucker.
unmute Keisha, or Keisha unmute yourself and make sure you're not muted.
Uh-oh.
There we go.
Oh, Lord. Can you hear me
There
now?
we go. Don't feel bad. I was watching CNN the other day, and
Not yet.
that we can't hear you just yet. Jaleel, make sure she's not muted in Ecamm. And let me see here. I tell you what I'm gonna do, Keisha. I'm gonna bring you up on stage in Clubhouse, and that way, if just in case you got a backup there. All right, go ahead, say something, Keisha. Let me see if we can hear you now.
Can you hear me?
Okay. No, not yet.
Nope.
Y'all make sure she's good over there on the back end, Jaleel and Tristan. Okay. So Keisha, you probably muted on your computer. Make sure you're
Maybe
not
turn up the volume.
Make sure your volume is not muted. Yes.
Can you hear me now?
I tell you what I'm gonna do, Keisha. I'm gonna take you off screen, and then Jaleel, I want you and Tristan to work with Keisha to make sure that y'all get her volume straight. Picture's great, sis. You look good. You just gotta get your volume straight. So go back to the 3-shot, and then y'all can figure that. Y'all can work that out for me, gentlemen. But definitely, I want to talk about that. You know, some of the unique challenges with ladies. Are there any female entrepreneurs in the room right now? Any?
I think Foley wants to come up.
Okay, let me bring Foley up. Yeah, hold on a second here. Let me move. There we go. Foley, how you doing, ma'am? Can you hear us yet? When you let us know when you pop up on stage. But it's I think it's definitely, Donna, you can speak to it too. Some of the unique challenges that women go through in terms of starting a business, maintaining the business. What do you think is something that men may not think of that women experience in regards to business?
In regards to business, I think that when you're struggling to hold everything together, I think that it sometimes could be overlooked by men that you are trying to be a woman and do you, because there have always been, I'll say, women entrepreneurs, but it hasn't been as prevalent as it is now. Like now, a lot of women, even just like on TikTok, a lot of women are taking control of their fortunes and their futures. But it wasn't always like that. You had people that, women that, they wanted to stay home and do the traditional route. But tradition now almost seems to be thrown out the window. So there are, stress is one of the biggest things to me that you see, the stress that women have taken on. We've always had a little bit of stress, but this is a greater stress. Because now you've got to take care of your husband, you got to take care, or boyfriend or whatever, or significant other. You're doing your family, and this is if you're a family person, doing your family. Your parents, if your parents are still alive, you're working with your parents.
Yep.
Getting business funding is another thing in that.
Before you go to that, you mentioned something about health and about stress.
Yes.
Interesting. This was a little bit part of the panel talk the other morning with Denny's, And we're talking about, women in business and stress.
Yes.
One of the things that came up is that women now lead in heart disease.
That's right.
That used to be men led in heart disease, particularly death in heart disease. And now, do you think that's attributed more to women now being more active in the marketplace, which brings a whole different slate and baggage and pack of stress that come along with it? Or do you think it's more dietary? What's your thoughts on that?
I think it could be both. I think it's a little both. I think it's a lot of what, like I said, the stress that we take on now with all the responsibilities of everything. And you got to work, we're being competitive with each other. And we also have to be competitive with the male. Still not getting paid as much as your male counterpart in some businesses. They are trying to rectify that somewhat. Right. But a lot of women are still not getting paid as much as men. And, it's an uphill battle, and it still continues to be an uphill battle, which causes stress.
Right. Go ahead, Pastor Tuck, and then we're going to bring Keisha back in.
Yeah, I was going to, couple of things I wanted to tap on. One, I think that women have to deal with in business is the discrimination factor.
Yeah, definitely.
Because, as black business owners, we have to deal with the fact that not only from our own community, but from other communities, people look at our business as being inferior just because of our color.
That's
exactly.
That's right.
And women have to deal with that as well.
Right.
People automatically think women are going to be less competent just because, and it's that, and a lot of times it's discriminatory depending on what businesses is.
Correct.
If they don't think it's that it's a
woman's business,
woman's genre business,
right?
Then they're not going to. If they think it's a more male oriented business, like for example, if a woman had a mechanic, automobile auto repair shop, then guys would probably be like, I don't know if I'm gonna take my car with it. You know what I'm saying? Which is ignorant. In itself.
That woman probably would have the best mechanic shop. Period.
Exactly.
It's gonna be good. You're gonna be able to eat off the floors and everything.
Go up in there. Ain't no grease nowhere.
No.
Can you imagine the waiting room and the reception area in that joint?
Give you a meal because we got to make sure you eat.
Man. I'm like, what? But no, but and it's, as a matter of fact, that's a funny story in itself. I went to get my oil change one day, and it was all ladies working in the Jiffy Lube spot.
Interesting.
That was probably the best Jiffy Lube spot I went to. They was out there changing the oil. They was running the whole spot.
Wow.
Amen.
Best Jiffy Lube I went to.
Wow.
But the other thing I wanted to bring up was Donna said something about the stress from women having to take care of their husbands and all that, and I wanted to address that point because it's one thing when we're talking about single women dealing with that stress, but if you're a married woman in business, and fellas, you need to hear this. If you got a queen that's out there and she's running her own business, she's not doing this for herself.
That's right. That's
this is part of the family business.
That's right.
So she ought not be having to run a business and take care of you.
Right.
Because if you were running a business, you wouldn't be expecting her to support you. Your job is to make sure that she's not having that stress. Your job is to come alongside her and take up her load so that she can handle that additional load and to make sure she fulfills her dreams. Because as a man who had a wife who was running a business, when my wife told me when we first got married, she said she had a desire to run a business. She wanted to do that. Years down the road, she hadn't done it. I was like, when we going to do this? I went out and started doing all the paperwork to start her business. I went out and started pushing to do all of those things. And I made sure that I took up a lot of the slack at home so that all she had to do was go and do those things because, this was a part-time business. So when she got off work, she had to go do this. You're not going to do that and then going to come home and worry about other stuff. Yeah. Because like I said, once again, I married a dime and I'm not going to be left with a nickel.
Yeah. And the truth of the matter is, that's where I think that's where balance comes in. You have to have that balance in your household, recognizing the unique breakdown or structure of your house. And once a woman gets a job outside the house, the game changes.
Oh yeah.
It just is. I mean, because she's not. She doesn't have the luxury to be there always available. She doesn't have the luxury to just only focus on the kids or only focus on her husband. There's a lot of other factors that come into play. So that changes everything. And I think sometimes that's missed. fully recognized. But this is good. This is a good conversation. I want to get Keisha back in now. I hope we got her audio good.
Yeah,
now.
she's good. The booth says she's good.
Awesome. Let's bring Keisha Walker. Let's introduce Keisha back to the show. Come on in, sis. How you doing, ma'am? She's the founder of Soar, y'all, and she's soaring with us this morning.
Yes.
Give me a mic check, Keisha.
Mic check.
Lord, I'm still not hearing Keisha. What's going on, family?
They might need to unmute her in the scene.
Make sure she's unmuted in the scene. Make sure she's unmuted. Okay, is she good now?
Hello. Can you
There
hear
we
me?
go.
Woo!
There we go. All right.
All right.
We got audio for Keisha
Awesome.
Walker. How you doing, ma'am?
I'm doing great. How are you all?
We're good. Glad to have you on the show.
I'm glad because now it's
Thank you for
balanced.
having me.
I'm glad, Keisha, because now it's balanced.
Pastor, how come Donna
I don't
always
know why Donna tried to act funny. She act like we don't treat her right.
right like
Cats. All I can say
Donna
is
know we the biggest
wrangling.
blessing in her life. I
All
don't
I-
know why she be trying to front on us. That's all right.
Cats.
Ain't no more dinners for Donna. Donna going Dutch from now on. See, 'cause she don't know how to act in public.
See?
Every
Cats.
time.
Oh my
Cats.
goodness.
Keisha, every time a lady comes on the show, Donna always act like she like balance. Every time.
So happy to be able to bring that balance today.
Thank you, because this testosterone sometimes, it's like I say all the time, it's like wrangling cats. And if they
That's all
get,
right. That's all right. That's all right. That's all right. Next time we go out,
Oh, that's so
Donna,
funny.
we sliding and check the Donna. Ain't no more blessing Donna no more. We sliding and check the Donna.
Y'all are hilarious this
see,
morning.
you got to struggle to be taken seriously, I tell you.
Well, we gonna take you seriously. When that bill comes, we gonna take Donna real serious.
What is Donna talking about?
I mean, like, you know what? You guys said you were gentlemen. You said it on the air. You're
Lord.
supposed to
No.
pick up the check. If y'all
No,
ask
but
me
when
to
all
go
people
out,
come
if
around, you
y'all
act like
ask
we
me
not
to
gentlemen.
come,
You acting like we not gentlemen, Donna.
All I said
You
was
acting like we not gentlemen,
See,
Donna.
you know what? See, a hurt dog. What they say on a rocket stone? The hurt dog will howl.
Look,
Now,
Look,
all
who
I
else
said
on
was
stage heard to be
balance.
talking about
Right, she's talking
All
about
I
balance.
said was balance.
It's only two
That's
of
it.
us.
It's
so
two
you're
women,
trying to say
two
it's
men.
imbalanced.
See how they go. See
how she doing
Keisha,
now?
you see what I got to put up with?
That's all right. That's all right. My feelings hurt right
don't
now.
Worry, don't worry.
Oh my goodness.
We'll talk to Donna later.
See,
Yeah.
now
My
they-
feelings hurt right now. Go ahead, Keisha.
Now they act like
Welcome
they
to
don't
the show, Miss
spank me.
Keisha. Donna done hurt my feelings this morning. It's okay. It's okay, Keisha.
It's balanced. You see?
Well, Keisha, come on and help Donna out with some balance.
She said, "What did I get into?" I'm sorry, Keisha.
It's all good.
You know when I saw the acronym for SOAR, I was like, that's really awesome in terms of how you broke it down. Share that with everybody before we get started, because I really want them to hear that.
Yes.
and how you came up with that.
Yes, thank you. SOAR is an acronym for Success and Opportunities Are Available Through Relentlessness.
Now, see, let me tell you why I
nice.
love that right there. Because oftentimes people don't realize just how relentless you have to be in business.
Yes.
Like you got to be like pit bull on a tire. Like relentless. I'm not letting this go. And talk about that, because you know in your business you're talking about finance, you're talking about wealth, but you have to really be on it in just an entire different fashion just to be successful. And I'm assuming that's even more intense as a woman.
Absolutely. And so I was listening to you all talk about that aspect of it. Being a female in this industry is unkind at times,
Okay.
because
Got
we
it.
are often misunderstood. Sometimes we are, I would say, cast aside, if that's
Okay.
a nice
Yeah.
politically correct way to
Yeah.
say it.
Marginalized.
Yes.
Yes,
Great word.
marginalized.
Yeah,
Absolutely. And so, of course, there's a lot of microaggressions in the industry.
Yes.
But nevertheless, you can overcome it. And I am absolutely honored to be in this space and to say that a woman in this industry in my company was the first person to achieve the highest rank attainable.
Yes.
Wow. Now,
Get it.
before we go to the company itself, talk about a little bit, because you say I've heard this term mentioned before, and every time I hear it, I know what it means, right? But oftentimes I don't think about it in the full context what that means from a man coming to a woman. Men do it all the time. We have little aggression, these little triggers. So men do little things like mark our territory. Sometimes it's subtle, sometimes it's direct, but we do this all the time. And men know when men are doing it. But I never thought about that in the context to a woman when that's coming towards you all, how that may be even more magnified and more intense as a lady dealing with a man.
Absolutely. Thank you for that question. And so, oftentimes, when we're on panels such as this, we can be overtalked
Okay.
when we're in the conversation, as if a mansplaining has to take place, as if we are not adept enough or cognizant enough or skilled enough to speak on a particular topic. And it can be very daunting if you allow it to be. I don't allow that.
How do you? Okay, you don't allow it. How do you combat that? How do you come back against that when that comes your way?
Okay, so basically, I don't have to be loud, boisterous, or anything of that sort. I know how to interject and get the point across, be direct without coming across as, especially as an African American female, as the hood ghetto rolling in it. I don't have to do all of this, but I'm just very clear and very bold with my my words, and I'm very articulate when I speak.
That's good because you I'm sure that comes from you got a military background, you have a social worker background, which I never knew all these years that you were a licensed social worker. Never knew all of that until I read your bio. I was like, well, I never knew that. But I think those different things train you to go into these different rooms and deal with different situations. And I know a lot of times because I've dealt with this. I think and a lot of times God will reveal it to me. Hey. That what her response ain't got nothing to do with you. That's on something else, right? But I mean, there's been times when I dealt with a sister who may be really intense, and it's almost like she's like coming for me in a professional setting. And normally, what I do with that is I downshift because I always say I argue with one woman on this earth. I don't argue with my mama. I don't argue with my daughters. I tell them what to do, or I listen to them when they tell me what's going on with them. I don't argue with my daughters, but one woman. Yanissa is the only person I'm willing to argue, and I ain't willing to do that for so long. So I definitely ain't arguing with somebody who I ain't sleeping with. So a lot of times I'll be in situations I'm like, okay, sis, it might be a professional setting. I'm like, hey, yeah, let's transition. Once you start grabbing air or doing all that, I'm like, hey, oh, see, it used to be finger waving. Now it's grabbing air. This ain't a topic, but but Keisha brought it up, and I thought it was a good way to address it. I guess what should a man help us out? What should a man's stance be when a sister may blow back like that because of maybe she's used to having her back against the wall? Maybe she's dealt with some microaggressions before, and she may sense or she may be ready for that coming into somebody who may not be even giving her that same energy back.
Well, I think it would be important, just like you said, the tool that you use by dialing back. That's a great tool because it kind of lowers the tone and it kind of softens the mood in the room. It's very difficult to blow back when you get something back that is softer. Does that make sense?
It makes total sense. Right.
Because it's a sense of sowing and reaping. If you sow a smile, a lot of times you will get a smile back.
Right.
If
That's
you
right.
sow aggression, you're probably going to get aggression back. But
Right.
if you sow a softer, the Bible tells us a soft answer is answer to wrath.
That's
So
right.
if we can give a soft answer, then we may not have to be worried or concerned with dealing with that wrath because it'll just keep perpetuating and escalating if you keep allowing it to escalate.
Yeah.
But if you kind of bring it down, a person has to come down with you.
Ooh, that's good. That's good, Keisha. That's menacing to somebody right now.
Yeah, you made a valid point because that's one thing that I learned years ago. I used to tell people all the time. It takes two people to argue.
Yeah.
And most people don't get that. if somebody's going there, you got to go there with them.
Right.
And I taught my daughters years ago, when somebody's talking to you out of pocket, just tell them I'm not going to be talked to like that, and you walk away from the conversation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we're not even going there.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just wanted to jump in. I saw Cornell West. What is the young girl that is the Republican for Donald Trump?
Candace Owens.
Candace Owens. Okay, they had a little debate.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she was very articulate and adamant, and and he spoke to her very calmly.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he got his point across.
Yeah.
So when you were asking that question, I was like, that's exactly how you deal with it. You calm down.
It's amazing you said, because Dr. West is a master debater.
Yes.
Whereas in some people will come forward. Like Roland Martin gonna speed up and come at you.
Right.
Harder.
Right.
Dr. West is gonna say, ha ha ha, my brother, my sister.
Very calmly.
And he'll just sit there and go a whole different way. So basically essentially that's different ways of approaching it.
Exactly.
It's different, and one clearly gets a better result. Keisha, talk about your company, because you're part, of course, you got Set for Life, you got SOAR, and really kind of share everybody exactly the business structure that you are winning in, because Yanissa was sharing with me some of the success that you've been having over the past year or two, and I really want to get into that, because a lot of folks come through this room on Clubhouse in particular, and they drop a lot of financial stuff in it, and I'm like, see, y'all ain't going about it right, okay? But Keisha, talk about what you do and how you've been doing, and some of the success that you've been having.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. So I'm a part of a company that is called Gold Standard Bank, which is part of a conglomerate. And lately, we've been doing a lot with technology advancement. Okay, so what our company is based on is the blockchain referral network.
Okay.
And within that space, we operate and we refer people to our financial products, in which we are paid in Bitcoin. I think you might have asked me a couple of questions about that,
Right.
prior to the show. We're paid in that and a number of other cryptocurrencies, not just Bitcoin. And within this space, it's decentralized banking that we are promoting, and the blockchain. The blockchain is simply an open ledger in which you conduct and exchange funds across. Okay, so
Okay.
we started out, we had AOL, we had the Earthlink, we had dial-up, and then we progressed. So
Right.
basically, the blockchain is just an encrypted internet on steroids. That's
Okay.
all it is.
Wow.
And so, okay,
But-
and apply that to finances, because I know that much about Bitcoin, and me and Yanissa got about that much money in Bitcoin. We don't know a whole lot about it. We put enough in to that to be in it, but be safe in case. So tell me about a little bit more blockchain, Bitcoin, how that all relates, because again, you talk to somebody who knows very limited about it.
Okay, so Bitcoin was started way back 2009, of course, by a person that people do not know. He's anonymous. His name was Satoshi Nakamoto. Okay.
Interesting. Wow.
So at any rate, that is just one of about 50,000 types of cryptocurrency. It's just the mother of them. So the blockchain, it operates on a particular platform in which you're distributing transactions and doing digital exchanges across an encrypted platform. What it has to do, you have to have each transaction verified, which is called proof of work. And
Gotcha.
therefore, there's no way that anybody can commit fraud.
Okay.
It prevents the fraudsters from committing fraud because it's an open ledger and there are a number of computers and networks that it has to go across in order for it to be verified. You can see every transaction. It's open, it's transparent, it's immutable, it does not lie.
Okay. And now you've been educating people on YouTube and on Clubhouse as well in various rooms. So talk about that, like in terms of reaching people, getting the information, and particularly, are you seeing that women and African Americans in particular are embracing and catching on to these different forms of currency?
Well, what I can say is that women are the minority in this industry as well. We
Okay.
used to make up only about 5% of the market.
Mm-hmm.
And so we have our own movement within the group that I'm in. It's called Women in Cryptocurrency,
Mm-hmm.
in which we do have a mission to educate more women. As far as the African American aspect of it, a lot of African Americans are, they're wounded, as
Okay.
it pertains to, life in general and the things
Okay.
that we've experienced intergenerationally. So,
Mm-hmm.
in terms of educating the African American community, we have a group called Wealth Builders Worldwide.
Okay.
And it is a beautiful process to converge in one place and see so many people of color who are after this financial literacy,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because we have, as a community, we've been lacking in this area, for some time.
Mm-hmm.
And so we do educate individuals. We have seminars, we
Mm-hmm.
have classes, we have daily conversations
Mm-hmm.
that actually raise your level of understanding
Mm-hmm.
about this space. Now, it's important because everything is moving to the digital,
Oh yeah.
Oh
way.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Money is not one of those things that is not going to move with it. So
Right.
that's why it's important to understand where we are in the space. People keep saying this is the wave of the future. It is not. If you Google which places accept Bitcoin or cryptocurrency, you will be so surprised. Some
Yeah.
people don't even know we have Bitcoin machines here in Colombia.
Yeah.
Go
Yeah.
Wow.
to a Circle K,
Yeah.
go
Yeah.
to Kroger, so this is not the wave of the future. It's already here. You
It's
can pay
already
for
here.
hotel rooms. You can actually sell a home with digital currency on a
Mm.
smart contract.
Wow.
So that's how I was able to interweave my real estate investment
Mm-hmm.
um, company with this market. So it's so much to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way I could cover it all in this little the
Mm-hmm.
time that we have, but
Let me ask you
it
this,
behooves
because
us to listen and learn and pay attention.
very much so.
People are afraid of what they don't know, and this is
Right.
another thing that they don't know about.
Now and black folks now, we when we hear certain things, it's like, oh, that bit he